I see the Red Templars have already encountered the temple's guardians.
Anything good on them?
Rummage their corpses, by all means. The Temple of Mythal, constructed in an age when elves, not men, dominated this land.
Before the Imperium destroyed it.
They believed Mythal a goddess of justice. Elves came here to request judgment, after they proved their worth.
Elves built all this?
The Venatori are creating these Oculara to help search for something. Most likely those strange shards we found.
Every ocularum is made from the skull of a tranquil?
Every skull was... No, done thinking about it. Done.
I had wondered where they had gone. I should have looked harder.
Hey, Cassandra. Were those really all your names, or were you having them on?
Having who on?
At the Winter Palace. Were you having them on, or are you really Cassandra, Allergy, Porter, Philimagig, Pentagast?
I really am. My family is as pretentious as it is large.
How do you remember them all?
I have them stitched into all my clothes.
Hey, Inquisitor, is that true? Do they fit across their underpants?
You will not answer that.
Tevinter architecture at its finest. This just screams I hated my parents and had no friends as a child, doesn't it? Why, Cassandra, I've never seen you smile so much.
I am not smiling.
Now you're not, but only because I pointed it out.
I am not a giddy schoolgirl, Dorian.
That would be easier to believe if you hadn't just blushed.
Battle against the Dragon of the Avar. All is in place. I offer thanks to Gillinan, Halamother, and to Andraste, Maker Bride. As you were raised up from mortal men to stand with our creators, our makers, so raise me up now to defend this world.
Oh, he's one of those. Elfie elves don't like that these days. Or anything.
You had something similar in ancient Tevinter. People kept the holidays, but renamed them for the Maker. So instead of celebrating Andaralis at the start of summer, you have Summer Day. And it's about the Maker.
I must go to the end of Thetis itself for Draken. I am at least glad to have friends on my side. Kalana and Heron have been arguing about Heron using the Lyrium to fight demons. Some things never change. Arena has a new alchemical trick she wants to try, like pitch or tar, but stronger. The recipe straight from Orzammar. They argue, fuss, and mock each other mercilessly. And I would be lost without them.
Yes. What's that like?
A dwarf getting on someone's nerves. I can't imagine.
Different in spitting, but still trying. Learn those lessons now, people.
I dislike this. Alam Sharam needs me. The Darkspawn have grown stronger. Some of my brothers would let those creatures destroy Olay. They think Draken know better than the Imperium. But if we do not stand with the humans against the Darkspawn, we might lose everything we have gained. I will fight this Avar Dragon for you, Draken. And then we shall drive back the Darkspawn together.
But he died here. And the elves ignored the second light as it spread across Olay. So began the animosity that led to the destruction of the Dales.
Pride cookies. Friggin' again.
Farewell, my love. I should not have asked you to come with me. Though I know you would not have stayed behind. You're a dreamer. And this dragon the Ava have tamed carries a demon inside it. I can see how its presence hurts you. You should be at Halam Shiral reminding our people of our alliance with Draken. Not here, risking death with me. Still, in the old tongue, your name Talanadas means nothing is inevitable. I will remember your name. And hope.
Dreamers are said to be sensitive to demons. A creature like Hakon would have caused Tilana terrible pain.
It hurt the Inquisitor too. You can tell because you took so long to say. She died. The Fade. Not good. I would rather be anywhere else.
There's nothing here you haven't killed 10 of and then looted their small clothes to wear on your head disrespectfully.
That helps a lot, actually.
That crossbow is remarkable, Varric. I am surprised the dwarves have not made more of them.
The woman who made Bianca would rather that not happen. Wars are bloody enough as it is. A crossbow that fires this far and this quickly, with so little training, every battle would be a massacre.
Indeed. I am surprised, not disappointed.
I spy with my little eye.
No.
Oh, come now, Seeker. I'm just trying to be friendly.
Try to be quiet instead.
When you brought me along to talk, perished the thought. So here we are, Elf, cleaning up another human mess.
What would the Inquisition do without our stabilizing influence, Master Tethras?
I assume they just start burning things.
That does sound like most humans I know.
If you gentlemen are quite finished...
Now, don't get touchy. We're just here to lend you simple humans our help.
Before you cause everything to explode.
Again?
You have seen a great deal of battle.
We all have.
Not all. Not like you. You live and breathe war. You understand it. It is home to you.
What's that supposed to
I intended no offense. We have both seen terrible things. We have watched death and destruction render that which we love unrecognizable. It is calming to see something familiar in another. I have heard that your books are very popular, Master Tethras.
I do all right.
I am glad of it.
Really? No sarcasm? No superior attitude?
We live in a dark and angry time, Child of the Stone. So much of what people believe has come crashing down. If you bring them a little peace with the worlds you make between the pages, you have done more than most.
So it was just you, alone in the vast wilderness?
What are you on about?
The lone wanderer searching the world. What's he trying to find? Love? Absolution?
Try someone with a strong arm and stronger will to fight Darkspawn.
Yes, but what does that represent?
Wanting to kill more Darkspawn.
You're just like Sebastian. Let's talk about your dark and troubled past.
Excuse me?
Well, you have one, of course. Someone dear to you, someone you failed to save. Or a grave error in judgment, causing too many deaths. I've known a couple of people like that. Oh, maybe betrayal. That's always good.
No.
Well, you've got to give me something.
No, I don't. This conversation is over.
Touchy. You remind me of someone. Pious bastard. Wore blinding white armor. Told me my shots veered left.
I can see how that describes me perfectly.
It was just all that niceness. He was just so nice.
Nice. Right. I take it you didn't like this person.
Sebastian would have taken that as a compliment. How do you like being described? As grizzled or masculine?
Do I really have a choice?
No, I was just being polite. Going with grizzled, then?
Do you ever miss life beneath the earth? The call of the stone?
Nah. Whatever the stone, capital S, is, it was gone by the time my parents had me.
But do you miss it?
How could I miss what I never had? But say I did have that sense, that connection to the stone. What would it cost me? Would I lose my friends up here? Would I stop telling stories? I like who I am. If I want to hear songs, I'll go to the tavern.
You are wiser than most.
This guard captain from Kirkwall that you're friends with.
She's stronger than you.
Right. Just checking. I've got one for you, Varric. Best tavern name you've ever seen. I'm torn between the bed and bucket and the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, that's a tough one. I think I have to go with the neighbor's house for sheer balls. You really spend most of your time in the Fade?
As much as is possible. The Fade contains a wealth of knowledge for those who know where to look.
Sure, but I don't know how you dream, let alone wander around in there. Especially when the shit that comes out of the Fade generally seems pretty cranky.
So are humans. But we continue to interact with them. When we must.
You've seen many things in the Fade. How do you know they're true?
I don't. Everything in the Fade is a memory. And memories are all too easily muddied. Just like your history books. They contain truth, but reason and sense are required to extract it.
I've been to Kirkwall. The Hanged Man, actually. Probably been 20 years now. It was a dive, if I remember correctly.
It's the dive, filled with the best and worst people in the world.
Yes, I heard it was a haunt of yours.
Haunt? It was home.
I read some of your book. Hard in Hightown, was it? Riveting stuff.
And you only read some?
Well, I found it in a latrine in a village near Cherno. It was missing some pages. Word of what happened in Redcliffe had better not spread.
Oh? Why not?
You think mages will be better off if people know they can change the future?
Ignoring that that's not the case, I suspect people will use any excuse to hate us.
Then you should not give them more.
Did everyone act like this when the sword was invented? Oh, my blushing butt cheeks. Round up everyone who can use these pointy things and lock them away.
It is not the same thing, and you know it. I once met a dwarf who made the best homebrewed ale.
I once met a Grey Warden who got possessed by a spirit and then blew up a chantry and killed 100 people. What makes people think you want to hear what others of your kind have done anyway?
I understand you were asking about me and the Inquisitor at Skyhold, Dorian.
Only verifying certain rumors, big man. You understand.
I'm not certain I do. Why the interest?
Academic? Future generations will want to know.
Leave it be.
Varric, did I hear this right? You met Corypheus before?
We didn't have tea and crumpets, Sparkler. I was there when he woke up.
And he said what? Hello, I'm one of the Magisters who broke into the Black City. Pleased to meet you.
That's more like... I'm a darkspawn. Too much. Then Hawk killed him.
Not very well, it appears.
Tell me about it.
Varric, you fought Corypheus once before.
Not my fondest memory, but yes, I did.
And you killed him. You were certain of his death.
Yes? What's on your mind, Chuckles?
He survived the explosion that destroyed the Conclave. If he can live through a blast that levels a mountaintop, we would do well to determine how.
Even if we knew, would that help us? The Wardens couldn't kill him, and they had 1,000 years to figure it out.
You have something to say, mage?
If I had something to say, I'd say it.
That's it? I'd expect more from a man who can't stop talking about how clever he is.
And I'd expect no less from a brutish thug.
Better that than a pompous brat.
If we're going to fight at each other's side, we need to get along.
Tell that to Mr. Barely Concealed Envy Issues.
I apologize, Inquisitor. Corypheus, one of yours, isn't he?
One of mine? Like a pet? Like a giant darkspawn hamster with aspirations of godhood? Dorian, why can't you look after your little friends? Corypheus peed on the carpet again. In this analogy, the carpet is Haven.
Is he or is he not a Tevinter Magister?
Meaning the source of everything bad and evil in the world? They are the same, yes?
Certainly feels that way at times.
So I hear you're kind of the black sheep in your family, Sparkler.
Where does that saying come from? I'm not a sheep. No one in my family could be described as sheep.
I'm just saying, you and I have something in common.
Goodness, I had no idea.
Okay, not that much in common.
All right, never let it be said I don't pay my debts. Here you are, 5 royals.
I tried to warn you.
I had no idea nugs possessed such creepy little feet. The stuff of nightmares.
The eye of a young woman in that last village, Blackwall.
I'm sure you're mistaken.
You're right. She was undoubtedly looking at me. Varric, are you and Cassandra...
What? No. Why would you even ask that?
Truly? Bizarre.
Just because two people dislike each other doesn't mean they're about to kiss, Sparkler.
Not according to your books.
Don't mistake me for that hack who wrote Hard in Hightown 2. I can spell. What do you think, Sparkler? 10 Royals says the next thing we run into farts fire.
I'll take that bet. I win either way. Any thoughts on this Herald von Droste business, Blackwall?
Why?
I just need to know you're capable of higher thought. For my own comfort.
Then you'd be better served giving me a word puzzle.
You'd do a word puzzle if I gave it to you?
Not a chance. It's odd how you've won over so many at Skyhold, Dorian.
You're surprised they haven't all dismissed me as the charming but ultimately wicked Magister.
Never. You're more the spoiled prince, and I question your reasons for being here.
A prince? I've moved up in the world. My reasons for being here are the same as yours, thank you.
I find that difficult to believe.
Perhaps when you get past the simple heuristics that define your world, we'll get along. Interesting. Took being this cold to notice that red lyrium gives off heat.
I'd rather be cold than touch that stuff.
I've often wondered what the average man thinks about mage freedom.
If you really cared, you could ask. Oh, but wait. That would involve talking to dirty commoners like me.
True. So much for that. You know, Varric, I went to Kirkwall once.
Yeah?
Bit of a shithole.
Yeah.
Come on, just answer the question, Varric.
My mother didn't raise any morons, Sparkler. I won't touch that one.
You must have an opinion. And you're a dwarf, completely unbiased.
There's no way I'm answering which Inquisition mage is the best dressed. Not for all the gold in Orzammar. So you're not in the Magisterium.
For the last time, not everyone in the Imperium is a Magister.
But they do pretty much hand out seats like they're candy.
Yes, but it's that black licorice candy with salt on it, not the good kind. Varric, you've seen this red lyrium before, yes?
Wish I hadn't.
Do you know if a mage could access its power?
Don't go there, Sparkler. Don't wonder if it's useful. Don't even think about it. Just stay far away and hope none of it gets to your stupider cousins back home. So, what do you think of the Inquisition so far?
It's interesting, I'll give you that. An archdemon attacking me as a first.
5 Royals says you'll see something weirder before the day ends.
I don't think I should take that bet.
I've got to ask, does any of this shit make sense to you?
To me? Are you referring to the giant hole in the sky or the creature out of Chantry cautionary tale who wants to be a god?
Either. I'm feeling generous.
What's the problem? Someone shows up, tears the place apart, declares himself king. That's half of history.
Corypheus is that terrifying drug nobody'll ask to leave?
Even after he puts a hole in the ceiling. Terribly common.
It's interesting watching you, Dorian. The way you carry yourself when you use magic.
I am very good at the whole magic thing.
No, it's not that. You find joy in it, not shame, and it shows.
Why be ashamed? Power should be respected, not swept under the carpet.
Something we Southerners need to learn, perhaps?
Maybe you're not a complete moron.
We were having a moment, and now you've ruined it. Dorian, I would prefer if you stopped referring to me as that hairy lummox.
When did I do that?
The tavern, the smithy, the servants. You said it to the gate guards as we left Skyhold.
That does sound like me. You owe me 20 royals, Varric. I'd like them paid in candid dates.
I haven't lost that wager yet.
You said we'd be ass-deep in trouble. This is more like knee-high.
I didn't specify whose ass, did I?
Leave it to a dwarf, always lowering the bar.
I see you eyeing Bianca, Sparkler. Hands to yourself.
I wouldn't worry, she's not my type.
Ha! And here I thought you were a man of refined taste.
For fine wine and literature, Varric, not for whatever that contraption is.
Contraption? Don't listen to him, sweetheart. His people are vilified for a reason.
Now we wait for the dragon.
Baiting a dragon, on purpose. Right. Should have stayed home today.
Oh look, a dragon. What a perfect way to ruin our day.
I've seen ruins like this all over Thedas. There's thousands out there. Some must have been bigger than proper cities like Denerim or Val Royeaux.
You must be joking.
Beg pardon?
Visit Tevinter one day. Minrathous will put your southern cities in perspective.
There's the door.
Ever noticed that for a people with no mages, dwarves use an awful lot of magic?
Do you?
Personally, I think it's some kind of compensation thing. We can't spit lightning or freeze anyone's ass off, so here, have a rune that sets your sword on fire.
Not a good sign.
Just imagine. Crawling all that way, dying of thirst. Oh look, the well's dry.
Do me a favor. We run out of water, just stick a knife in me.
Greetings.
Ours shall be the burden of knowledge, to take into the earth and prove us worthy.
That's from the Chant of Light. Is that a thing? Do people go about reciting from it like that?
The righteous shall carry the Maker's word to every corner of his house.
All right, well, good luck. Have you been reading the inscriptions? These dwarves built a colony on the surface, on purpose.
That's practically unheard of in recorded history.
Exactly. Real dwarves don't like the surface. Real dwarves say leaving the stone is death. Whoever built this didn't give two tin shits about tradition.
One of the Venatori gambled that he could bargain with a demon. Made sloppy work of it, too.
Pages. From a diary.
Why not? I'd want to write down why I thought this was a good idea before I started. Looks like these runes are dedicated to a paragon. That accounts for a lot.
What do you mean?
It's, hard to explain. Paragons don't sound impressive on paper. So you invented a new hat or table saw, so what? But when they come through, they're like an avalanche. Dwarves wait entire generations for... You know what? Let's find that last tomb. This place is making me think too much about dwarf stuff. Learn to what's in the last four. You know, I don't buy that stuff about dwarven ancestors living on in the stone, and we're above ground anyway. But something about this place gives me the creeps.
All these pieces of metal inside the tombs we found? They make up a key.
A rather roundabout way of hiding one's key under the cornerstone.
I've never seen a rune like this before. Is this what the Venatori were after?
Ah, you're holding the legacy of a paragon. Empires used to kill for them. Heck, they still do. Whatever it does, it's probably ancient and invaluable, so try not to drop it in the sand.
I thought you weren't interested in Dwarven history.
If you want an encyclopedia entry, it may as well be from someone charming.
The nugs seem to like it down here.
Really?
A letter of confession from the mayor. It says he was the one who flooded Old Crestwood 10 years ago, to stop the blight from spreading.
I knew he was nervous about more than the undead.
That sorry bastard. He left before he could get caught.
What a sad mess. Will the Inquisition bring him in?
Perhaps I should be afraid, facing the most powerful members of the Inquisition. Like Blackwall. There's nothing like a Grey Warden, and you are nothing like a Grey Warden.
I'll show you a warden's strength, beast.
Greetings, Dorian. It is Dorian, isn't it? For a moment I mistook you for your father.
Rather uncalled for.
Once again, Hawk is in danger because of you, Varric. You found the Red Lyrium. You brought Hawk here.
Just keep talking, Smiley.
Did you think you mattered, Hawk? Did you think anything you ever did mattered? You couldn't even save your city. How could you expect to strike down a god? Merrill is going to die, just like your family, and everyone you ever cared about.
Of course, a fear would know where to hurt the most. We must ignore it.
Smaller fears, I would wager. Scavenging whatever the nightmare leaves behind.
And they take the form of spiders. Something so many fear.
Spiders? That is not what I saw.
Of course. The demons look different to each of us. Personalized little terrors.
Wonderful.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die. And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, Darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
So that's how the bastard survived, Hawk.
For once, I'm relieved I'm not really a warden.
We'll find a way to stop him once we're done here. 'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus, they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how.